Good morning, class.
Good morning, Mr. G.
Good. How are you guys today?
Good.
Good. Glad to hear. So today, we're going to be learning about nature. And you guys are going to be doing a little research project to go along with the text we read today. So, can someone raise their hand? I'll call in a few people and tell me, where were you guys last week? Maddie? Camp Keep? Good. Camp Keep? River?
Camp
Ellie?
Camp Keep by Morro Bay.
Camp Keep. Okay, last one. Onrog.
Camp Keep.
Okay. Onrog? Everyone else? Good job. You guys are at Camp Keep? Okay. Take a look at the front of your guys' benchmark. Okay. What's it say, Maddie? Nature. Relationships in nature. Good. So, at Camp Keep, did you guys learn about nature?
Yes.
You guys learned a lot about science, nature, all that fun stuff, right? Good. Okay, so for the lesson today, I'm going to go over a few vocabulary words that will help you throughout the lesson. Okay, so the first one, nature. Kind of already talked about it. It's the environment, it's outside. Take a look out the window, that's nature. Okay, next one, affect. Okay, that's going to be a big word, affect, or to make a difference. Okay, something is affecting someone. When the heater in our class is on, it's affecting me, it's making it hot. Okay? Resources. We're going to be doing a research project. Okay, resources are just a fancy word for information that you use, like the websites, your benchmark. These can be resources that you get your information from. Research. Okay, let's have someone tell me what research is. Kevin, what's research?
It's kind of like what you find out, like look up using your resources.
Find stuff, you find information using your resources. Good. So you're finding information, you're finding facts. Okay? Credible. That's related to research and resources. Credible are facts. Okay? Stuff that's believable. You know, a lot of some information might not be credible, it might not be, you know, factual. Like Wikipedia, that's one example. Raise your hand if you've heard of Wikipedia. Okay, a lot of you heard of Wikipedia. That website, anyone in the world can go ahead and write information down. Okay, so it could be kids like you, or it could be professors. Typically, professors have credible facts, stuff like that. Okay? Prior knowledge. Who can tell me what prior knowledge is? Someone raise their hand. Kunal.
Stuff that you have already done.
Perfect. Stuff that you've learned already. From when you were born to right now. Anything you've learned in between then is your prior knowledge or your background knowledge. Okay? So good. Glad you guys know the definitions, know the vocabulary. We're going to be focusing on these three questions throughout the lesson. Okay? So I'm going to read it first, and then you guys will repeat when I tell you to. Okay? So, can we research and not plagiarize?
Can we research and not plagiarize?
Good. Okay. So, plagiarism, another key word. Okay? That's using someone else's information and using it as your own. Passing it off as your own. Okay, that's not acceptable. We've got to make sure that we give the people credit, the authors credit for their research. Okay, another one. Can we use credible resources?
Can we use credible resources?
Good. Talk about what credible is, what resources is. Very good. What roles can we play in the balance of nature?
What roles can we play in the balance of nature?
Good, very good. Okay, so I want you guys to focus on these three questions throughout the whole entire lesson. Okay, so right now, I want you guys to take a look at your benchmark. You can flip through the pages. I want you guys to think about what the benchmark will be about, what the theme is, what you guys will learn about throughout the whole benchmark. Okay, I'll give you guys 1 minute. Go ahead, glance through the pages, glance through the stories. When the timer goes off, okay, I'll start calling on people. Just go ahead, skim through it real quick. 15 more seconds, no rush. Just go ahead and look through the pages. Three, two, one. Okay, so let's have Ellie. What do you think you're going to learn about?
I think that we're going to learn about a lot of like important figures in nature, like people that had a huge impact on like our ecosystem or like national parks.
Very good. I like that answer. Okay, one more. Casey, what are we going to learn about?
Naturalists to like focus on the environment and like a point in time which changes people's thought in nature to help and improve.
Like environmentalists that, do research and work to help change people's perspective about nature. Very good answer. Okay, so just like we did right now, you guys are going to skim the very first story. You guys are going to skim the first story. Okay? Let's see what the title is. You're going to skim Rachel Carson, A Clear Vision. Okay? You guys are going to do that for 1 minute. Remember, think about these questions. Okay? Some of these questions too. Class?
Yes.
Eyes on me.
Eyes on you.
Good. Okay. You guys are going to think about this while you skim the story. Nature's balance can be affected when what happens? The story is connected to lessons where we learned about blank because blank. Okay, so a lesson in your prior knowledge that we've talked about, maybe before Camp Keep, how we were learning a lot about science. How does it relate to this story? Because why? Okay, I'll give you guys another minute. Go ahead and skim the story. You guys are reading well. I appreciate it. About 10 more seconds. About 10 more seconds. 2, 1. All right. So, in your guys' groups, I want you to talk about what you think the story is going to be about. You can go ahead and use these sentence stems, these right here for you, to help guide your conversation. Okay? So go ahead, talk in your groups. I'll give you guys a minute to talk in your groups. Okay? Go ahead, start.
So I think it's going to be how Rachel Carson and humans use chemicals. Pollution is made by humans. It's not something that was made by the world. It was we make it by it's not natural. We humans made it. In paragraph 4 it states I know it's going to be what? Yeah.
It's going to be about Rachel Carson. The environment
Like how she's gonna start how she so how she's a scientist, like she explores the nature and then she writes books about what she explores. No, but it was because it's about
Okay. Good job, guys. I heard some good conversations. So, what did your group talk about? What do you think the story's going to be
We
about?
mostly talked about the nature's balance and how it can be affected. We were saying how pollution it's not natural. We humans have done this. And I mean in paragraph 4 it states that people were dying because of the cause of the chemical pesticide and that it helps rid crops of destructive organisms. This could help. This can, I guess, help plants. But what is it doing to our animals? What is it doing to animals? It can affect ecosystems. As it said to our previous lesson, ecosystems can be highly affected. And when affected, it doesn't affect just one species. It affects the whole ecosystem.
Good. That was an awesome answer. Okay. Good job. So, right now, I'm going to read to you guys a story. I want you guys to get out pencil, pen, highlighters. You guys know already. You guys are going to annotate the story as I go along. I'm going to stop during big chunks. I'm going to call on people to tell me what's important about it. What's important about it. Okay. Quickly, let's get out our pens and pencils. You guys are doing a good job. Seems like everyone's ready. Let's go ahead and get started. So, page 4, very top. Rachel Carson, A Clear Vision by Catherine Goodrich. Okay. Rachel Carson, I would highlight her because she's the main person that we're reading about. Was a scientist and a writer. Bryson, what was she?
A scientist and a writer.
Good, that's important too. Who helped shape the modern environmental movement. Carson had a strong sense of wonder about the beauty of the natural world, and she instilled the same feeling in others through her words and her actions. Carson was born in 1907. Okay, that's pretty important. Alvita, when was she born?
1907.
Good. Okay, so that's a while back. It's important to know the timeline. In a rural Pennsylvania river town called Springdale. Okay, I think it's important that we know where she lived, the area where she lived, so Springdale. Near the Allegheny River. As she explored the woods and field around the family's farm, Carson fell in love with nature. She went on to study biology. Gabby, what'd she study? Biology, good job, so that's important. In college, and then spent summers during her graduate school doing research in marine biology. Okay, that's important too. Allie, what's the difference between biology and marine biology? Marine is in the ocean, very good. Okay. With a master's degree in zoology. Okay, so those were important things: biology, marine biology, and zoology. Carson began working for the United States Bureau of Fisheries. Lauren, where did she work?
The U.S. Bureau of Fisheries.
Good. Okay, go ahead and highlight that. She also wrote newspaper and magazine articles about nature and conservation. Okay, so she wrote articles about nature and conservation. I think that's pretty important. In a way that general audiences could understand. Eventually, she decided she could best share her vision of the natural world through her writing. Carson's books about the sea included The Sea Around Us. Aiden, what was the first book called?
The Sea Around Us.
Good, so go ahead, circle that or highlight it, and also the year of 1951, which she won the National Book Award for nonfiction. Alex, what's nonfiction?
Nonfiction is real.
Good. Nonfiction is real, okay? And also The Edge of the Sea in 1955. That's important too because that's another book of hers. But it was in 1962, go ahead and circle that one because that's the most important date, that Carson published Silent Spring. Go ahead and highlight that as well. The book that would alter environmental policy and change people's understanding of their relationship to the world around them. Okay, next page 5. In the powerful first chapter of Silent Spring, Nipun, first chapter of what book?
Silent Spring.
Good. Carson portrays a fictional American community. What's fictional, Yuham?
It means that's not real.
Not real. Very good. Okay, so a fictional American community, not real, that is mysteriously stricken with sickness and death. She asks, what has already silenced the voices of spring in countless towns in America? The answer comes in the chapter that follows as Carson explores the detrimental effects of insecticides. Okay, go ahead and highlight that word. Insecticides, that's pretty important. And how these toxic chemicals, so we can assume that insecticides, that's a toxic chemical, used to rid crops of destructive organisms. It leaked into the surrounding water, air, and soil. Okay? You should highlight that. River, where did it leak into?
Into the surrounding water, air, and soil.
Water, air, and soil. Good. The chemicals leaked into those areas. She detailed how birds, animals, and ultimately humans are affected. Okay, affected, that was a vocabulary word, right? How they were affected as these poisons pass through the food chain and the entire ecosystem becomes contaminated. Okay, so the last part, the food chain and the entire ecosystem become contaminated. Go ahead and highlight that part because that's pretty important. Anurag, what's a food chain?
A food chain is like how one animal eats the plant. The plant got energy from the sun, so then the animal ate the plant, and then another animal ate the other animal, and it keeps going until they reach the top of the food chain, and then scavengers, and then the decomposers.
That was a very, very good answer. Okay, did you learn that Camp Keep sometime? Yeah. Camp Keep, I know you guys learned about decomposers and scavengers and all that. So the food chain is like, starts off with a plant, maybe then goes on to an insect, maybe then goes on to a frog, then it maybe go on to a raccoon, and then maybe a coyote or a mountain lion. All of those, if the plant was contaminated, then all of the other animals are contaminated as well. So it's pretty important. Okay, paragraph 6, let's continue. Or paragraph 5, excuse me. Carson's cautionary tale helped people realize that they are part of a delicately balanced ecosystem. Okay, so people are involved in their own ecosystems, which they greatly impact and must help preserve for the health and survival of all things. Okay, going back to the food chain. It's not just one animal that's affected, it's the entire ecosystem that can be affected. Writing Silent Spring was a brave act. The multi-billion-dollar chemical industry condemned Carson. Okay, so go ahead and highlight that part. Who can tell me what condemned means? Someone raise their hand. Aiden, what do you think?
Sued.
Sued? Okay, condemned can mean sued. Condemned means like they talked bad against. Okay, so the multi-billion-dollar companies were not a fan of her work, saying that it was bad for the ecosystem. Even though it might be, the companies were mad at her. Okay, so still, Carson testified before Congress. She used her research to show the harm of pesticides like DDT and what they were doing. Okay, go ahead and highlight DDT. That's a pesticide, kind of like insecticide. Okay, it's a chemical that wards off or kills pests. Laws were passed to ban or control the use of these dangerous pesticides. Okay, go ahead and highlight that last part. Ardonna, what were laws made to do?
To ban or control the use of dangerous pesticides.
Good. Ban or control the use of dangerous pesticides. Okay, last little part. Carson died of cancer in 1964, just 2 years after Silent Spring was published. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to tell you guys to talk in your groups, but first, eyes on the board. That was weak. One more time, eyes on the board.
Eyes on the board.
Good job. Okay, so in your conversations, when you talk in your groups right now, you're going to think about this. How does blank affect blank? So maybe how does chemicals affect humans or the environment, stuff like that. What would happen if there was a pesticide leak in Bakersfield? Okay, these are important things you got to think about. Why is it important to learn about blank? So it could be anything. Why is it important to learn about the environment? Why is it important to learn about chemicals? Why is it important to learn about nature? Okay, so go ahead. I'll give you guys 3 minutes to talk in your groups. Go ahead and start.
Penguins are in the food chain. Get hurt.
What are we talking about, Mars? Just say.
Like how DDT hurts society.
Can hurt humans? Good.
Part of the chain, and then if they kill an animal, and then they contaminate everything.
At camp,
Right. Good.
we learned that almost the fastest bird alive. It was also
Right.
the peregrine falcon almost was brought to extinction by that chemical because when they ate the eggs that they when they sat on them, they
Right.
broke down.
Right, so chemicals can have a huge effect on animals, with the eggs, like the one they can't keep, that's good. It can just make them sick and die. If the whole species is wiped out, then the food chain suffers. I like the conversation, you guys are doing good.
What's it called?
What are we talking about here? Toxic chemicals.
It can wipe out some animals.
Wipe out animals, make them extinct even.
Because we eat certain animals and plants, and if those die, then it's
Like, keep up the good work. How's it going here? Good. What are you guys talking about?
Well, we were talking about how this whatever, like, I said how this, so that you know what you're putting in the food, so you know, like, what maybe this DDT could affect the other stuff. And you know what's
How DDT can affect other stuff. Good.
yeah, and if you also don't know what they do.
Okay, how's it going here? What are you guys talking about?
They have a
good. We're talking about
they have a sign
It starts off with the lower animals that eat the plants, and we eat the animals that eat the plants, so it can affect everything.
chemicals, yeah. That's not my job. No, I've read this somewhere.
Alright, 10 seconds. Go ahead, wrap up the conversations.
It's important to know what you're giving to the environment.
Class.
Yes.
Good. Okay. So, you guys had good conversations. I was listening to you guys. You guys were on the right track. I appreciate it. So, let's have a few people talk to me about what your group discussed. Maddie, what do you guys talk about?
We talked about toxic chemicals and how it can make some animals be extinct. And since we eat those, they can mess up the food chain to some animal food.
Right, good. So bringing it back to the food chain, can make some species extinct, can mess up the whole entire food chain. Let's see. Zoya, what'd your group talk about?
We basically talked about how the pesticides could affect everything and how it could affect possibly life.
Good. I like that you guys are using the vocabulary words like affect. You guys are doing a good job. Okay, last one. Yuhong, what'd your group talk about?
We talked about how pesticides affect the food chain and humans, and what would happen if there was a toxic leak into the water of Bakersfield, and why it's important to learn about what some toxicides contain and look into, because it could be dangerous if you don't know things.
Good. Good job. So you guys did a really good job there. Appreciate it. Okay. So right now, now we're going to do the research topics. I'll introduce them to you. Okay. So, first one, Monsanto. Okay, can you guys say Monsanto?
Monsanto.
Good. Okay, so Monsanto is an organization, kind of like how we talked about in the story. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry that produces pesticides, insecticides, stuff like that. Okay, so Monsanto is one of those companies that hands out toxic chemicals for crops. It can affect the crops, like we were saying. Okay, if it affects the plants, it affects the animals around it, it can affect the food chain. Some of the studies that, if you guys choose this topic, you can research about, talks about how some of the chemicals on the food, we eat them and it can cause cancer. Okay, so very, very similar to what our story was saying. Next one, Chernobyl. Say Chernobyl.
Chernobyl.
Good. Okay, that was a nuclear power plant that blew up due to human activity. Okay, so there was a human error that caused it to blow up. Okay, you guys can research that. Nuclear power is very radioactive. Okay, kind of like these chemicals that we've been talking about. Super, super bad, can have many health risks, can affect the animals, can affect people, can get into the water. Okay, you guys can learn about radioactivity if you choose that topic. And last one, the BP oil spill. BP oil spill. Okay, that happened not too long ago. Okay, a few years ago. I remember I was on the beach when it was happening, or not when it was happening, but a little bit after it happened. And I stepped in a huge pile of oil, and it was stuck to my feet. Yeah, stuck to your feet. I was scared because I didn't know if there was anything that could get it off. We used like soap, we used scrubs, we used everything, and it wasn't coming off. Okay, I want you guys to imagine how it might affect a bird that flies into a puddle. Okay, I'm sure you guys have seen those videos, right? How it might happen if, you know, it gets in the gills of a fish. Okay, what would happen if it, you know, if we eat the fish that's contaminated with it? Then we're sick. Okay, so these three topics is what you guys can choose from. Right now, I'm going to have you guys open up your Chromebooks, please. And I'll give you 5 minutes. Once I see that you all are on Google and stuff like that, I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes to research any of these topics. You can research 1, 2, or you can research all 3. And then you guys are going to pick which one you would like to talk about. Okay, so, class, real quick.
Yes.
Eyes on me.
Eyes on you.
Let's remember our vocab words. Okay? When you're looking, you guys are going to use your resources. You guys are going to use credible resources. Don't use Wikipedia. Okay? You guys are going to use your prior knowledge as well. These are all skills that you're going to use to conduct your research. Okay? It doesn't matter what content you're learning about. It doesn't matter if you're learning about nature, you're learning about history, you're learning about math. These are all good practices and skills that you guys need to have to conduct a good, solid research project. Okay? So go ahead. You guys can start working on Monsanto, Chernobyl, and BP oil spill. I'll give you guys 5 minutes, and then we'll come back together and talk about what you guys chose. Yes, you can only choose one. You can research all 3, but only choose one. Okay? Yes, Monsanto, Chernobyl. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, you can have multiple main reasons. Just go ahead and scroll down, take a look. How's it going here? It's going good. It's okay. Like I said, you guys can research all three if you want.
Look, this how it looked like. This is the VP oil spill. Look at this one. It could die automatically.
It's
It
crazy.
eats fishes, things eat that. Oh my god.
Go ahead and do some research on it. Go ahead, look at other ones. Alex, what are you looking at? The oil spill? Kevin, which one are you looking at? BP oil spill?
What is this one? California judge puts award to $7.85 million in Monsanto weed.
So the people who were affected by that, who maybe got cancer from the Monsanto chemicals, they bring a lawsuit to the court and then they get rewarded money. So Monsanto had to pay for the damages they caused.
7.78.
Dane, which one are you looking at?
I was just looking at the
Chernobyl?
Chernobyl, and now onto
Monsanto? Good.
Oh, they do.
Luke, which one are you looking at? Chernobyl one? Okay, you guys are doing good. About a minute 45 left. Do your research. Remember, you can do all three. You can just research one. Casey, which one are you looking at? Which one are you looking at? The BP oil spill?
No, it was ruined by
Still business. About 50 more seconds. Go ahead and do your research. That's another name for it. Water horizon oil spill, that's another name. About 15 seconds. You guys are doing a good job. I appreciate it. Three, two, one. Okay, so let's come back. Got to call in a couple more names. Tell me what you guys researched about. Dane,
I researched all three.
researched all three? Good. Which one do you like the best?
My favorite is the Chernobyl.
Chernobyl. That was pretty cool. Okay, gonna call on two more people. Miguel is not here. Ellie.
I researched the BP oil spill.
Right. Okay. Is that the one that you think you're gonna choose? Cool. Okay. And last one. Let's have.
I researched all three and I saw the tremendous effects these cause.
Okay.
But I chose the BP oil spill because it killed so many animals in the process.
Did. They killed a lot of animals. Affected a lot of things. Okay. So now you guys are going to pick one. So I want you to pick 1, 2, or 3. Class.
Yes.
Eyes on me.
Eyes on you.
Good. Thank you guys. Okay. You guys are going to get into groups according to which one you pick. Okay. Don't worry about it right now. I'll tell you guys when to. But like BP oil will be right here, Monsanto will be over there, Chernobyl will be over there, okay? And then you guys can collaborate and do your research together. It's okay. Okay, so the research you're gonna do, let's remember again, this is the most important part. This is what the whole lesson is gonna be about. It's about your research, okay? Let's remember, can we research and not plagiarize? When you guys are looking up your facts, to not plagiarize, I want you guys to copy and paste the link of the website that you guys used for the information, okay? So copy and paste the link, and that helps us not plagiarize, okay? When you're looking for websites, I want you guys to look for .coms, .orgs, and .nets, maybe even .govs, okay? Those are all credible resources, credible websites that you guys can use, okay? I'm also gonna challenge some of you, okay? I want you guys to use Google Scholar, okay? Google Scholar helps you search for articles and websites used by professors, doctors, people with master's degree, very professional and credible resources. They give you articles about the subject, okay? So Google Scholar, that will be a good resource to use. Okay? And so, remember, these research skills that you guys are practicing are important no matter what topic you guys are learning about. Whether it be Monsanto, like I said before, whether it's history, math, English, whatever it's gonna be. These are good research skills to have, okay? So, I want you guys to access Google Classroom. Everyone go ahead and go on Google Classroom right now. I posted a new assignment for you guys. It's talking about researching 10 facts about the ones that you choose, okay? Someone raise their hand once they're on Google Classroom and see the assignment. Okay, and Poon, can you do me a favor? Read the assignment and then read the instructions to the class.
Okay. It says find 5 facts.
Keep on reading.
It says find 5 facts about what topic is about. Then find 5 facts about how your topic is affected nature or people. Make sure your research is credible and avoids plagiarism.
Good. Okay, so you guys are going to find 5 facts about what the topic is about. And then you guys are going to find 5 facts about the effects that it had on humans, animals, plants, the environment. Okay, so the instructions are there for you. I want groups 1 and 2 to be Monsanto. Groups 3 and 4 to be Chernobyl. And 5 and 6 to be the BP oil spill, okay? Right now, I want you guys to close your benchmark books, put it on top of your laptop, go ahead and get your groups, okay? I'll give you a minute to get in your groups.
No.
Yeah, we're Chernobyl. No, we're Chernobyl.
No, he meant like which.
Okay, let's remember, 1 and 2 is Monsanto, 3 and 4 is Chernobyl, 5 and 6 is the BP oil spill.
Are you doing Chernobyl in here?
Oh, yes.
40 seconds, let's go ahead and hurry up. If there's not enough chairs, you guys can pull up a chair to the group next to you.
Where's the Chernobyl thing? Over here, 3 and 4. 4 and 4. 3 and 4.
25 seconds, 25 seconds.
Are you doing Chernobyl? This 3 and 4 are Chernobyl.
12 seconds, 12 seconds. Go ahead and find your groups.
The seat is stuck behind it.
Okay, class.
Yes.
Okay. So, find a place to sit, please. Even if it's not in the groups, I want you guys to find people who might have not made it in the group. Find people on the same topic, and you can go ahead and work with them. Okay, so Class.
Yes, yes.
Eyes on me.
Eyes on you.
Okay. Good job. I'm glad you guys are in your groups. I appreciate it. Okay. So now, go ahead and work on the Google Classroom assignment. Remember, your resources need to be credible. Okay? Avoid plagiarism. Allie, how do we avoid plagiarism? That's okay. We'll come back to you. Okay? Aiden.
By posting the link of the website you were using.
Good. Can you tell Allie, please?
By posting the link of the website you were using.
Okay. Allie, how do we avoid plagiarism? Posting the link of the website you're using. Okay, good. So, now you guys can go ahead, collaborate with each other. You guys can go ahead and talk about the topics, talk about your 5 facts about what it's about and how it might affect people. One second. Class.
Yes, yes.
Okay, good job. Eyes on me.
Eyes on you.
For some people who might have a little trouble knowing what to research, okay, how did your topic affect the environment and humans? You guys can Google that, okay? Another one you guys can Google. How much damage was caused by your topic? Okay, another one that you can Google to use for your research. How did humans cause the incident? How did humans cause your topic? Okay, so go ahead. I'm gonna give you guys 10 minutes to collaborate with one another. You guys can go ahead and talk, work with one another. Make sure you guys are using credible resources, okay? Go ahead and work. Go ahead, get started.
It's gonna cost I'm crazy. Always I know.
Class.
Yes.
Let's posture up, please. Thank you, guys. You guys can talk. It doesn't need to be quiet. You guys need to collaborate, talk with one another. Make sure you guys are looking up the credible resources, the good facts. Yes.
We're not allowed to use Wikipedia.
No Wikipedia. That's not a credible source, right?
Yeah, no, it's it does the same thing except it's like
Remember, you guys can use Google Scholar for credible sources.
Okay, guys, go to Google Scholar.
Wait, so first we have to have, it's supposed to 5 facts about what our topic is.
There's a lot of research, like.
So like, it's pretty much about how the plant exploded.
Landon, let's have you pull up a chair, bud. Okay.
This is
There's like about.
It's almost 30 people died incinerated.
Pour the water in the water tube.
Yeah. And that got and then it puts the water here, the steam goes into the turbine.
Is that how a power plant works?
And then it uses the power control then the backbone.
That's awesome.
Okay, so do we do docs?
Yes, do a doc. No, don't share the doc. You guys can just talk about some of the websites that you use and stuff like that. Okay, Alpina?
What was the cause?
How's it going here?
Wait, is that a credible company? Was it
Credible source?
No, not yes, BP. It wasn't
Google's fine. Depends what the website is though. As long as you guys aren't using Wikipedia, then most likely it's fine. Yes,
what is the cause? I mean, what will we search up for that? Google.
just put, cause of deep water horizon oil spill. Okay, and then it will list some of the causes. I think someone messed up and cracked a pipe underneath. I could be wrong, but I think someone cracked a pipe underneath and the pipe leaked oil.
No, because I'm heartbroken by this. The images. There's a dead dolphin in like the middle of here.
I know, it's crazy.
That's a dead dolphin.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's British something. I don't know.
Yeah. No, there doesn't. It's fine.
Search of BP. It's a British multinational.
I'm gonna do the second one.
How much did the BP is
The deep one.
You'll do number 3. I'll do number 2.
Oh, topic?
Yeah.
No. Why did they just call it an accident?
I'm gonna do
You
number
can
2.
still die.
You can still die if you go right.
Yeah, you can still die.
Group 3. Which one are you guys working on again?
No.
You guys finding some good stuff on it?
Yeah.
Good. Make sure your resources are credible.
Yeah, so this is not bad, but it's bad, but it's still good for research. Yeah, you can also
Wait,
like
guys,
for
so can we
science.
just make a website?
How much did it affect the environment?
You guys have about 6 more minutes. 6 more minutes. You guys are doing good work. I appreciate it.
Like about at least 20,000.
No, it says on this one.
The radioactive materials had many immediate harmful effects on
No, BP, it stands for,
Well, I don't think it stands for anything, but if you
Do you have a question?
yes.
.edu is good too. It's an educational website.
Deepwater Horizon as well. No, so what is the company?
You won't die over British.
What was one thing you found? Most massive oil spill in the U.S. Good. I agree.
Dude, this guy shared the word.
Group 4. What have you guys found so far?
Okay, so we're gonna start. I'm gonna do how she's gonna do how it affect my environment, and he's gonna do how did he
Good. I like that you guys are assigning jobs for one another. It's very professional.
So it looks like animals are evolution. I'm a Nat Geo.
That's good too. You guys are about Chernobyl, right?
Yeah.
You guys can have the diagram as extras. Like, it didn't find a good diagram about how like the power plant worked and stuff like that. So maybe what broke in here, what went wrong. You can point it out to me.
Overheated because of the Cold War, so they would have added
Really?
they didn't have enough people working on it every day, so
There's still animals there, except
Cool. Glad you guys are finding it interesting.
coastal mine has been affected, including Texas.
I can't copy and paste. I found a good mouse. You can't copy and paste.
Wait, did we put the 11 people?
Oh,
I still, I didn't.
It counteracts the properties of like the stickiness of oil. So it was like a different type of scrub. But they
guys, I
Wait, well,
what are you guys finding here?
I'm trying to find the company that caused person that caused this. Like, what was? I'm not trying to blame them, but I want the information. Like, what could we done to prevent this? And the causes of and why. Yeah. I don't think we're
Good.
Wait, Ariana, I just realized
Casey to be the leader of the group.
we just used Casey.
Okay. The Gulf Oil
Because I need a copy and paste.
no, not like that. So you type up whatever you're using. So like what are you using to find the facts? What
Can't. I'm supposed to know
I need to.
I need it. This one and this one. These two.
There you go.
we have animals
Wait, it's a movie? Yeah, no, because I searched up Deepwater Horizon, so apparently that's really okay, I think this is our horizon is what they're calling the oil spill. I think that's what they did in Deepwater Horizon. Oh, why did I say maybe? I don't know why. Because of the... I don't know.
BP oil is fine. And then number 5.
Okay, our daughter. Should I fight you? No, yeah, I think Deepwater Horizon was what they used to call the
How's it going?
So the company that was being who wants to ask someone else? Cool. Now I'm sure. I don't dude, look at his mouth. No, what's wrong with his mouth? Look at it. What do you mean what's wrong with it? Don't touch it. Okay. They're doing okay. Ooh, it
I sent the docs to you guys for July.
You guys have about 30 seconds. It's okay if you're not finished. It's okay if you're not finished, but you guys have about 30 seconds, and then we're going to wrap it up. Yes.
We found out what caused the oil spill. It was the company. It's called British Petroleum. It's headquartered in London, England. And we DC searched up, not from Wikipedia, New Scientist, the website, that a lot of people.
2, 1.
Oh yeah, also on New Scientist, you already said it. There's the failures that cause the failures.
Class?
Yes.
Okay. Eyes on me. Laptops down right now. It doesn't have to be closed, just down. Thank you guys. Okay. So I was walking around, heard a lot of good research, heard a lot of good things you guys are talking about. Okay, so let's think about our questions again. Can we research and not plagiarize?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I'm gonna kind of ask you guys, Ashley, how can we research and not plagiarize? Let's all listen.
We can, while we're on the doc, we can paste the link and copy on the doc.
Good. I like that. Yeah, that's what I told you guys, right? Copy and paste the link. That gives the author of the article or the website, it gives them credit. Okay? It's not plagiarizing. It's not using it as your own. It's using the author's work and you're giving them credit. Good. Okay, now let's think of the other one. Can we use credible resources? And if so, how can we tell that it's credible? Okay, let's have River.
You can tell if it's credible by seeing if it's like by the government organization.
Awesome. If it's by an organization, by the government, maybe an educational resource or a college even. Okay, these are all good ones. Okay, on 3, I want you guys to tell me what's not a credible resource. 1, 2, 3.
Wikipedia.
Good. Okay. Last one. What roles can we play in the balance of nature? Okay, I'm going to call on a couple of you. Bryson.
We can, by trying to cut down on our insecticides and things like that.
Cut down on insecticides. I like it. Okay, relates to the story, relates to our real life. Let's have Dane. Yeah, go ahead. How can we, what roles do we play in the balance of nature?
Well, first of all, we have to be careful with our actions because any step we make, like, see, if we were to do any of that stuff again, it affects all animals and stuff like that. And if you take out one animal from, like, if you make one animal extinct, you can make a whole bunch of other animals extinct because that could be their main thing is food or stuff like that.
Good. Appreciate it. Okay, last one. Let's have Ellie.
Okay, a way we can affect nature is a lot of the time pollution, because like we live in cars running, or we have huge big factories that put a lot of smog and smoke in the air, and that is like kind of unfair to all the innocent animals that have done nothing, mostly except
Good.
fire and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, good. I like what I'm hearing. I like the answers. Okay, so to wrap up this lesson, what I want you guys to do is to pick a partner or pick the group around you. I want you guys to talk about some of the facts that you learned and how the resources were credible. So, like if I was partners with Yuhung, okay? Yuhung, what did you find out about Chernobyl? Go ahead.
A lot of like how it happened, how like what it caused to the environment, what it did to the environment, how it exploded, and how much damage it caused.
Good. And how do you know that you got that information from a credible resource?
Because I know that because it was sponsored by a special organization that was
By the government, special organization. Very good. So I want you guys to kind of quiz your partners and your groups and just about what they learned, about the research that they did, about the resources, if it was credible or not, okay? Because remember again, these skills that you guys use, they're going to be important for all of the research that you guys do throughout the rest of your schooling, okay? So go ahead, talk with your partners. I'll give you guys about 3 minutes. Go ahead and quiz them on if they use credible resources.
Oh, you're on the different. I'm on the. I need to delete one.
Yeah, you just.
You're using a different. We're using the same site. We're using nuclear something.
I made it up.
How do you know that's credible resource? Good. Was it from Wikipedia?
So I know that this is incredible. How long it remains
Good. Dane, what'd you learn?
Well, I learned that I learned how to pause
How do you know it was a credible resource?
What did the explosion
You guys are all using like .org and special organizations and stuff like that? Good.
Well, then
Talk to them.
I learned that where the oil spill was, like it was in the Gulf of Mexico, and how BP company were sued, and they had to pay the fine of the oil spill. And then I used the website EDF, Environmental Defense.
.org. Okay, good. That's how it's credible. You guys are doing a good job. Okay? One more minute. Remember, quiz your partners on if they use credible sources.
Did you saw what kind of design?
Wait, what do you want me to put a shirt on?
So that you can say it. Well, you better know. Or you guess.
I don't know.
See, look, it says what dirty law happened. What percent of fires were
No, the law.
Yes, it's true. 5. Right, and you have the same thing.
Are you getting a dead picture? Sure, it was in Chernobyl. I said, it was in Chernobyl.
This is the same thing. It's delete dirty parts.
I'm looking on in what I learned.
Oh my goodness.
I got on for
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Class?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to call on one person to tell me how they quizzed their group. let's have Kunal.
Kind of quizzed on what year it happened, kind of the after effects, like how many people died that night, how many people died from radioactivity, the effects on the environment around it, like what happened to the animals.
And how'd you quiz about a credible resource?
Oh, credible resources. Look around for credible resources. We found a bunch of them. National Geographic, one of them. And
Okay, that was good. Okay, so on 3, do we think that we can answer all these questions now? 1,
Yes.
2, 3.
Yes.
Okay, good job. You guys did a good job today. Appreciate it.